Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Secrets of the Sire. We do this every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, talkradio.nyc. We talk comics, movies, TV, all the fun stuff that you love talking about. This is what we do. And as always, I got my trusty sidekick.
Talk without me.
Lord of the Radio.
Talk without me.
All that fun stuff.
So technical difficulties.
There's always technical difficulties.
Yeah, you gotta pretend that they don't exist, though.
Lord of the Radio?
You can't. Yes, I am the Lord of the Radio.
That's what we like to see.
Unless I'm one of the technical difficulties.
No, you're not the technical difficulties.
I'm not?
No, not at all.
I feel like a technical difficulty sometimes.
No, you're very good. You're very good. You didn't just become Lord of the Radio.
I'm telling you, I got that out of the Cracker Jack box.
You got that out of the Cracker Jack box?
I got the permission to be Lord of the Radio. We've had this conversation. Maybe not on the air.
Really?
Maybe we shouldn't have. All right. Get past that.
So we have a tremendous show coming
Enormous.
up. Enormous. If the internet would not keep going in and out in this. In the good God. Really? Again? Interns, you got to not knock into the internet here.
Yeah.
That would be really, really
it's
helpful.
All your fault.
Well, we have a great show tonight, regardless of whether or not we're actually online or not. So we have Kristin Anapau. Kristina. I keep saying Kristin. I'm gonna definitely mess that up when she's on the air.
I'm looking forward to that.
I hope she's not listening. Well, no, I hope she is listening.
I hope she is listening too.
At some point, she'll listen to the show.
She'll give you a little bit of understanding.
I would hope so.
When you butcher her name to her face.
That's all you can ever ask for, right? Is to
understanding?
Is to butcher someone's name who's been
to their
on
face.
a tremendous TV show like True Blood on HBO, and that's exactly that's all you can hope for in life is to
Sorry about your name.
Right, exactly.
So whatever your name is, tell me a little about yourself.
Yeah. No, exactly. So if anybody's trying to listen to us on the Facebook feed, we're getting hooked up there as quickly as possible. I don't exactly know why.
Oh, we're not on the Facebook?
Well, we were, and then the internet got destroyed.
Yeah.
So now we're not.
It's his fault.
Yeah.
It's this guy's fault.
It is what it is. I'm going to do my best to help us out. So, but unfortunately, we're going to start the show off with even more somber news. See, it's a collection. It's a collection of
sad news.
Of sad news, though, too. We had a terrible instance that ended up happening.
Yeah.
Last week,
out of nowhere,
which was really devastating, and it was devastating because it was one of our. Well, it wasn't one of our. It was our very first guest, and it was really emotional in the sense that we were big fans. And we lost someone that was just
still
tremendous.
A big fan,
and still a big fan. So we're obviously talking about Chris Cornell. We're talking about the loss that we as a fan base, as a collective fan base, suffered when he unfortunately
when he
passed
away,
left the earth
when he left us.
Yeah, which is
here to have to deal with the rest of this planet all alone now.
So I'm not going to say like I knew him well, but I did have the pleasure of interviewing him. I did have the pleasure of, getting to talk to somebody who I grew up with, listening to his music and just loving it, and being, being a fan and being able to kind of live out the fan dream. We're up on Facebook now as well too.
Fun fact, true fact.
Yeah.
Soundgarden's Bad Motor Finger.
Yeah.
Very first CD I ever bought.
Really?
Yes. And one of my best friends, I was with him at the time. We met in college, and it was around that time that I bought the CD.
Uh-huh.
And his phone number is still in the booklet. I wrote it in the booklet of Bad Motor Finger. So that's the first CD I ever owned.
Okay.
And the first time I got my friend's phone number so that we could stay in touch, and it's been 26 years or something like that. So we're that worked. And so that's the significance that they have. They're amazing band. The guy had an amazing voice, Chris Cornell. Some fantastic. One of my favorite songs of all time is "Room 1,000 Years Wide," which is on the Bad Motor Finger CD. I mean, that whole CDs. I can listen. That's one of the few CDs I've had from my younger years that I could listen to from start to finish. You know, because kids today don't understand the phenomenon of actually having an album, because everything is one download at a time. Yeah. But a rarity from our time coming up was an album that you could actually listen to all the way from the start to the finish. Sure. And Bad Motorfinger is certainly one of those albums. And then their follow-up to it, was Super Unknown. Okay. Great album. It's a slightly different album. So when I first got it, I was a little disappointed because it wasn't Bad Motorfinger all over again. Sure. It's fantastic album. Another one of my favorites. Yep. And the one that was right after that, which was their last album. Yeah. And I'm blanking on the name of their last album. King Animal? Or King Animal or Down on the Upside? Down on the Upside. Okay. That was their last album. Not technically their last album. Right. Well, yeah, that was the last album they had before they broke up. They broke up for quite a long time. Right. And then they just recently got back together and they put this at the King Animal together for that. But Down on the Upside was like their last in their prime kind of album. Yep. And another amazing album, completely different, completely different animal from Bad Motorfinger and from Super Unknown and from Ultra Mega OK, which is the album they had just before. Sure. Bad Motorfinger. I'm a huge fan of the band, and so I haven't even really been able to listen to any of their music. No, I know, and if you do listen to it, and again, we're not going to keep, no, we're going to move on. We're going to move on very, very quickly. I do, I will let our audience know that, but if you listen to it now, it takes on a different meaning now. All of it, the way it ended, which is kind of the way it happened with Nirvana. Exactly. Exactly. So again, we just wanted to make mention because again, he is associated in very remote little possible way. He's connected to the show, and so we felt it best to at least talk about it. And he's connected to us personally, exactly, in our own experiences. So it's terrible. And then, unfortunately, it segues into another terrible thing that ended up happening. But before we do that, let's lighten it up. Let's lighten it up a little bit here. Let's talk about the mystery box. Oh, that mystery box. The official superhero stuff mystery box. It's a monthly mystery box packed full of superhero awesomeness. It makes a great gift for that superhero fan in your life. $79 worth of stuff for just $49. Man, that's a deal. That's a deal. So go to the Facebook page, facebook.com/Secrets of the Sire. Do it. Click the Shop Now button. We're going to be running this all month long. Yeah. It's a mystery box. You can't go wrong. No, you can't go wrong. It's a little mystery in a box. If anyone's trying to find us on Periscope tonight, we're experimenting. No Periscope tonight. We're only on Facebook tonight. So facebook.com/Secrets of the Sire, talkradio.nyc. Call in. We have Kristina Anapau coming on. 877-480-4120. She's going to be talking. Well, we're going to do do some fun things with Kristina. That didn't come out right, did it? No. Didn't really come out. But you got her name right. I am making it a point. So winning. So, Kristina, if you are listening to the show in advance, is how many times has someone gotten your name wrong and how badly have they butchered it? So, just in advance, just preparing you right now if you're listening before you even come on. All right, we're going to move on. Again, kind of similarly themed, but we're going to try to not harp on the negative as much as possible here. Big news came out this past week. Zack Snyder stepping down from Justice League. It's... Again, for a terrible reason. Again, we pride ourselves on being the fun hour. I mean, this is a fun hour. Brian Everham just chimed in, "What's in the box?" He put in quotes in the Brad Pitt voice. Yeah. You have to wait for the UPS guy. He'll tell you. Again, the fun hour, this is supposed to be comic book, TV shows. This is all the stuff that we love talking about. This is all the stuff that's... fun hour, sometimes things happen. Yeah. Sometimes bad things happen, even in the fun... relentlessly wonderful life that we live. I know. Terrible things. And unfortunately, fans are getting what they wished for, just hopefully not in the way they ever could have possibly had hoped for. So, according to The Hollywood Reporter, Zack Snyder is stepping away from Justice League. Joss Whedon will be filling in for him, stepping in to shepherd the movie through post and the shooting of some additional scenes will be Joss Whedon, the Avengers filmmaker, and Buffy creator. And suddenly the internet forgot its humanity. Right. But, And that's the thing that, again, this is what we're trying not to harp on. I want to focus specifically, and we will in a second, but we do have to comment on these idiots out there. Yeah. Anybody out there who's like, thank God for Zack Snyder's daughter. Oh, she really did us a favor. No. I mean, it's... No. It's
no.
It's unconscionable.
Get off of your keyboards. Get away from your keyboards.
Yeah, and then there's no rhyme or reason to it because a couple of years ago they were all mad at Joss Whedon because of Age of Ultron.
Sure.
Right. So now he's the savior again.
Sure.
It's completely.
Sure.
It makes no sense. And they were talking about how Zack Snyder was a perfect vision for all these movies, and he's going to blow Joss Whedon away.
To be fair, I mean, and again, for anybody listening, we're going to separate the why as to now just we're going to keep it superficial.
Just the brass tacks.
We are very superficial people in general,
so
we're going to stick to. Well, I'm a very superficial person.
Yeah, I'm all right.
I'm a book by the cover kind of person.
I'm a great guy. I'm not superficial at all. I'm a wonderful human.
There's that humor. We got it back. Yeah. We can laugh again. Too soon? No.
A little bit, but not really.
We're going to keep to the surface level talk about what does this mean for Justice League. What does this mean for the movie itself?
It doesn't mean much, has been pointed out to us.
The release date, still staying on track, November 17th.
He did most of the work. He's already filmed most of the movie.
This is a conversation we had with one of our patrons in the green room, Kristina Gilling, about if you did not know that Zack Snyder stepped down and you did not know that Joss Whedon took over, and obviously we don't know this question, we don't know the answer to this question yet, but if you had no idea this was happening.
Yeah, would you even know?
Would you even know he stepped in and directed?
Probably not.
But I bet you after the fact, there would be people like microscopically, breaking down like every scene and be like, "Oh, well, that's Joss Light right there."
They did the same thing, and it was the story was debunked by Spielberg. But they did the same thing with AI. If you remember, years and years ago, AI came out. Stanley Kubrick's last movie, he died before he finished the movie. Steven Spielberg came in and finished it.
Yeah,
and basically Spielberg. I think I'm hazy on it. I think Spielberg actually filmed the whole movie, but the entire setup was Stanley Kubrick. So he did all the post-production, whatever. And they went through it, and the movie got mixed reviews or whatever. But they blamed Spielberg for the semi-happy ending that the movie had.
Sure,
because it had a kind of happy ending, and everyone was convinced that if Kubrick had done it, it would have been a grim ending, this really stark ending. And Spielberg was like, "No, this was how it was written. I didn't change a thing. I went in and I filmed what was there out of respect for Stanley's work." And the internet could not be convinced. It was a conspiracy theory. So the same thing's going to happen with Justice League. There's going to be stuff.
You're absolutely right.
I
absolutely can see that. Yeah, there's no question about it.
Yeah, how much of this movie was really Zack Snyder? If it comes out and it's a huge hit.
But wouldn't that be the best? Not the best thing. Let's not use those kind of words. But wouldn't that be like the most ironic thing in the Alanis Morissette version of it, where at the end of the day,
ironic. But not really ironic.
Right. I don't actually know the definition of irony, so I'm just using it, and I want to sound very smart.
Yeah, okay.
Kristina Anapau, I'm very smart.
He is. He's
like,
dreamy.
Wouldn't it be funny though if, like, at the end, they're like, I would have rather seen Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Of course they're going to do that.
Wouldn't that be the coup d'etat?
Yeah.
All right. So coming up next, we're gonna keep talking about Joss Whedon, but we're gonna pivot. We're gonna pivot.
Yeah,
we're gonna pivot. We're gonna get happier. We're gonna definitely.
Joss Whedon is kind of
it's not Josh. It's not Josh.
I said Joss. Joss Whedon is kind of a segue.
He's a good segue.
He's a good segue into the next thing you want to talk about.
Vampire.
You correct me. You don't correct the Lord of the Radio. That doesn't happen.
I just did.
You did.
Top vampire stories ever to hit the big screen. Coming up next.
You're listening to the Talking Alternative Network.
Do you want to connect with?
Are you an entrepreneur or intrapreneur looking to build your following?
Welcome to our show.
Follow Me Friday with Joan
and Priya.
Tune in every Friday at noon Eastern
on talkradio.nyc.
We're your digital connectors. Woo woo! What's that?
Talking Alternative Radio, 24 hours a day.
joined by my esteemed colleague and co-host, Lord of the Radio.
Lord of the Radio.
Lord of the Radio.
Thank you very much.
Do you have to apply? Do you have to go to college for that? Is there some sort of classes?
I could tell you how to become Lord of the Radio, but then you'd become Lord of the Radio, and I wouldn't be Lord of the Radio
this is
anymore.
very true.
No such thing as co-lord.
No, it doesn't work that way.
It's
Secrets of the Sire.
Welcome back to Secrets of the Sire. We do this every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, talkradio.nyc. We're on Facebook, facebook.com/Secrets of the Sire.
Everywhere. We're all over the place.
Lord of the Radio shirts need to be made, Joe Movie says.
I agree.
But before that happens, Secrets of the Sire is brought to you by all of our beloved patrons. We have dedicated fans, Einar Peterson, Matt Byer, John Hoff III, Ashley Haikai, our program director, Stephanie Dolce, our executive producer, Steve Hovecki, Brian Phillips, Kristina Gillen, who was in the green room with us earlier today, and as always, our Uber fan, Kristina Dolce. So
Fix.
Well, yeah,
I think there's a fix there.
Well, the thing with her being our Uber fan is she's actually just costing me money. So my wife is actually costing me money because she's pledging the most, which is great.
Right.
Which is terrific.
She's pledging your money.
Right, and then Patreon takes their cut, so she is actually costing
Just get her to change her name so it doesn't look so dodgy in the tax credit.
Well, I mean, maybe no, but I mean, then she doesn't get the credit either.
I'm just looking out for you, man. I'm trying to help you try to hide your funds a little better.
Hiding my losses?
Yes, well, either way.
No,
they won't be.
No, but it's even worse.
If you hide them correctly, they won't be losses. They will be gains.
She's a tax accountant, so she could definitely.
There you go. She should be gaming the system.
We're not even doing this on our corporate tax card.
You guys got to talk, man. I don't know what's going on.
So there's just
you're painting a bad picture right there.
It's not good. All right, so we shook off the beginning, shake off the internet, shake off the bad stuff. Let's talk about some fun stuff. Let's talk about we've got a tremendous guest coming up.
Won't be fun if you talk about Josh.
I want to thank Tom Martin from Tom Martin Media as well for making the connection. I want to definitely give him a shout out. But we're going to have Kristina Anapau, Morella herself from True Blood on next segment. But to warm it up, kind of like a warm-up band, warm-up band gets out there. I threw this out there. Give me the top vampire. Now, I phrased it top vampire stories ever to see on the big screen.
Stories?
Well, because then I was like, well, there's movies, there's TV shows, and then I was like, all right, then it's the top vampire movies and TV shows. But I felt like, I was off my game this week. I feel like I'd come up with something catchier.
Top vampire, then it's got to be Dracula.
Well, no,
Bram
stories
Stoker's
ever
Dracula.
to make it to the big or small screen.
Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Oh, I guess that completely
that's the top
changes,
vampire book.
That just
so you
changes the narrative
thing.
completely.
Yeah, now we can't talk.
So we're going to be pretty
we're done.
Quiet for the next
we're done.
7 minutes. Okay.
You ruined the whole segment.
All right.
You want to talk TV shows
Sire,
and movies.
brought to you by the Mystery Box. Go to the Mystery Box and check out some more. No. So, all right. So this is what we got here.
I'm here to ruin the show.
So I'll run down a list of things, but then there's a couple that I really want to just kind of highlight a little bit, and we're going to talk about it. Buffy was obviously on the list. Lost Boys,
that
From Dusk Till Dawn. Well, all right. Again, we're going to get rid of the stories concept.
We're throwing that out. Okay.
We're going to throw that out.
All right, okay.
Buffy, Lost Boys, Dusk Till Dawn, Interview with a Vampire, Twilight, True Blood, John Carpenter's Vampires was mentioned. Blade was mentioned.
Who mentioned that one?
Todd Sliss actually did. Todd Sliss, thank you, Todd Sliss. You actually mentioned that. Forever Night TV series as well, too. So that was from you.
Yes.
I've never even heard of it. I have no idea what that is.
You don't know
No, I don't know Forever Night.
Good Lord.
I don't know Forever Night at all.
Right.
But all right.
You're not even a child. You're not even that young. You don't have you have no right. All right, never mind.
Couple things we want to talk about. Or a couple things I want to talk about. How great is Lost Boys? To me, that is number one, I think. Right? That's my number one favorite vampire tale.
It is a rather amazing movie.
It is, right? It just really is great. You even posted a line. What was the line from the movie?
It was, he's eating maggots. Maggots, Michael. You're eating maggots. How do they taste?
At first, I thought you were directing that at me, and I was like, what are you...
It was a kind of double, it was a double hit. It was a double hit.
That is way more clever than I thought you.
That's way more clever than even I thought I was until just now.
Until just now.
Until you mentioned it. I was like, okay. I meant that.
So it was...
I totally meant that.
It was one of the Okay, so it really wasn't intentional.
It was. Darn it.
It was okay. It was after the fact intentional.
I'll be honest. I thought about it
Homer
while I was.
Simpsoned your way into that.
I thought about it while I was writing it.
You saved the nuclear power plant, and everyone's like, "You pulled a Homer Simpson," and then they realized that he had no idea what he was doing.
No, you make it more about it than it really needs to be. It was my genius.
Scott Fortier said Moonlight.
Moonlight was a ripoff of Forever Night. On television.
Wait, so I don't even know what Forever Night was. So Brian Abraham asked, "Is that the one with the actor who is now on Hawaii Five-0?"
I don't know. I don't watch Hawaii Five-0.
What are you people even watching or listening to?
Yeah, I don't know.
What is this?
It's our job, and we don't even watch TV. So why are you guys wasting time watching television?
Christmas. All right, Dusk Till Dawn.
No.
What do you think of that?
No.
What do you think of that movie?
No.
No?
I despise that movie.
Like 2 thumbs down?
I despise that movie.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I have to rewatch that movie. I watched it a long time ago.
Yeah.
Christina Gillen says Forever Night was amazing.
Thank you.
All right. I'm not disputing whether it's good or not.
Amazing show.
I'm saying I had no idea it was even a show.
Because you don't even know anybody. I don't know. It was the 90s, like early 90s.
You're like, you don't know.
I have all 3 seasons at home.
I don't know.
It's only lasted 3 seasons. It was Canadian. It was
Brian
a Canadian
Abraham
show.
is very upset that you said Dusk Till Dawn. Poor.
It's a poor movie.
Is it? Classic. I wouldn't go. No, I will say this. I remember watching it.
It's Rodriguez. It's Robert Rodriguez. So, yeah, but it wasn't. It's just.
Were you a Grindhouse fan?
I liked Grindhouse. I've liked Robert Rodriguez movies.
Yeah.
I just didn't like Dusk Till Dawn at all.
Jean Goldstein used to stay up till 2 a.m. to watch Forever Night when she lived in Connecticut.
There you go. She understands.
I used to stay up to watch other things, but when I was a kid.
Well, I'm sure that information is useful, especially since you're being vague about it.
Well, it's like embarrassing, but it's
then don't mention it. Don't you got control?
Well, I do have control, but I also want to make this as
what was it? What was it?
Our embarrassment.
What were you watching?
Entertainment for
the
other
Smurfs.
people.
You were watching the Smurfs.
No, have you ever seen the movie Blown Away?
Yes.
Okay, which Blown Away have you seen?
You're talking about the ones with the Hames, the
Nicole
Corys.
Eggert. See, you do know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Nicole Eggert and the other girl from something. She ended up on 90210.
There was another girl on that?
Yeah, there was.
It was on Netflix.
I thought the other girl was hotter. I was
really?
never a big Nicole Eggert fan.
Ah, yeah. To be 14
that's what
again.
It is.
Like when you're 14, that's what you do. When you're a 14-year-old teenage boy, that's what you do. You're
just making this weird now, man.
Because
now everybody knows what you were doing watching while we were watching Forever Night.
That's like 14-year-old. Yeah, exactly. You were watching Forever Night.
Yeah, like this is a great show. This is enriching and artistic, and you're over there like.
Where does Twilight fall into all this?
It doesn't.
It's 0.0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You're done with
Even if I thought differently, I would say that.
So, okay, that's a great question. Can a man actually get up with any kind of, macho manliness and say Twilight was a good film franchise and or movie?
If he could, we would not find out because I wouldn't be doing it.
That's like the guy wearing the pink shirt, right? Like he feels completely confident.
But men can rock the pink.
Wait. Okay,
Sam the engineer is wearing pink right now.
That's amazing. I just pulled a Hassan.
If you know what, I'll take that. If we can call it a Hassan,
we can.
I'll take it.
I just called it. Yeah.
You did. Well done.
I was going to say Homer Simpson.
Yeah.
But
it's now Hassan.
It's now
a Lord of the Radio.
All right. When we come back, we're going to get Kristina Anapau Morella herself from HBO's True Blood.
So we didn't actually decide which movie was the greatest.
No, we got time. Our show's like an hour long.
We didn't. Oh,
yeah.
Oh, because I was getting ready to go home. All right. Cool.
Secrets of the Sire brought to you by. Kristina Anapau when we come back.
You're listening to the Talking Alternative Network.
If you have an interest in marijuana, you want to know about marijuana, law, policy, and culture, then feel free to join me, Joseph A. Bondi, every Friday at 11 o'clock in the morning on my show In the Know 420 on TalkingAlternative.com.
Legalize the herb to continue to resist the passage of this necessary legislation.
Hi, this is Rob Kay.
And I'm Callie Alpert.
And we're hosts of The Rob and Callie Show. Are you looking for a show that talks about real stuff like life, love, the pursuit of being yourself?
Then you have come to the right place, because we cover topics ranging from chivalry to gratitude to your relationship with money and everything in between.
So listen to us on The Rob and Callie Show, Tuesdays, 8 to 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on talkradio.nyc.
Talking Alternative Radio, 24 hours a day.
I want to thank our guest Fabian Nicieza.
I think we asked him one question, and he pretty much carried the entire interview himself.
Which was just awesome, because we like to do as little work as possible on this end.
The writer gnomes are not getting paid for that segment.
Secrets of the Sire.
Welcome back to Secrets of the Sire. We do this every Wednesday night.
Every Wednesday.
8 p.m. Eastern. We talk comics, movies, TV.
Always talking comics.
All the fun stuff that you love. Really excited. We have a tremendous guest on right now. Best known for her roles as Morella on the HBO series True Blood and Galena in Darren Aronofsky's Black Swan. I want to welcome Kristina Anapau.
Hello.
Did I get the name right? Did I get the name right?
You did.
Okay.
You did a really great job. Yeah.
Yeah, he was uptight about that for a while.
Well, I am excellent at butchering people's names.
Yes.
So,
including your own.
You did a great job.
All right. Excellent. Very, very good. Welcome to the show. We really appreciate you coming on.
Thank you.
We are talking best vampire stories of all time that made it to the big or small screen. Where does True Blood fit? Where does True Blood fit in that, in your own estimation?
Well, I mean, it's definitely not what I think of as like classic vampire, as far as what I was raised on, which is more. There's a special place in my heart for the 90s. I think it was 91 remake of Dark Shadows.
Okay,
so that's kind of my favorite, even though it's a little bit soap opera-y.
Okay.
Of all time. And I like Bram Stoker's, and I like sort of the more traditional vampire stories. But, I mean, True Blood is iconic, and there's nothing like it. So it's pretty high up there.
What was it like day one, you're walking onto set? How was it? You're coming in midstream. They're at the height of the popularity, season 4 and you're in season 4 and season 5. Like, how does that feel? Were you nervous, intimidated? Were you welcomed? I mean, how was the experience?
I was nervous the first day for sure, but welcomed right away, and probably not nervous by the time I got to set. Nervous for the first table read, but by the end of that table read, it was just like I felt like I'd been embraced as part of the family, and it really was one of the best working experiences I've ever had in this industry because of that, because it was just such a incredible family feeling every time you stepped on a set. And I had a lot of people that I didn't know that were even on the show, because I don't have TV and I don't watch a lot of TV. I didn't know they were on the show, and turns out they are, and they were at the table read, and so it was such a incredible experience. And playing a fairy, I didn't get to interact with a lot of the vampires, because if a fairy does, then they die, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't have a lot of scenes, and a lot of times we'd be shooting 2 episodes at once, so the vampires would be off, doing something else, and I was never a part of it. But one of my friends that I discovered worked on the show was one of the vampires, and she sort of brought me into the vampire group socially, like off screen, and we'd go to dinner, and so much so that Chris Bauer once, he saw me walking with her, and I don't remember who else was there. I think Alex Skarsgård and just a bunch of the vampires, and he pulls me and says, "What are you doing with the vamps? What is this? Like, how are you friends with them? Like, what?"
Well, that's really funny, because I picture that if like somebody saw you hanging out with the vampires who was like a fan of the show, they'd be like, "That's not right. You're not supposed to be there."
Right.
How immersed in the quote unquote the Comic-Con world were you at the time, and have you been, doing maybe like convention appearances or signings or just appearances to promote the show?
I mean, I did a little bit when I was on the show, and I didn't have much experience in the Comic-Con world before that. Mm-hmm. And I've gone a few times since then, just sort of as a visitor to Comic-Con, and not had to do any work there, and just went to industry parties and things like that. But just sort of walked around and looked at everything. But yeah, it definitely introduced me to that world in a big way. For sure.
And I mean, most people are very taken aback by that world. We live in this world.
I was going to say, unfortunately, right? I was introduced to that world, and I've never recovered.
like, was it overwhelming at first, or was it just, because, I mean, some people say...
You could say yes. You're allowed to say yes.
I mean, I was there for work the first time, so it was a lot more controlled, I think, than if I just shown up as an attendee. But yeah, I mean, it's I don't know. It works for me. It didn't feel overwhelming, and I'm not someone who likes a lot of people ever.
That sounds
like
just
crowds or people.
Yeah.
And I never once felt overwhelmed or like it was too crowded or any of that there, because the energy is so. Everybody's just so excited and coming from such a nice, pure sort of place and there to have a great time. So that was the one thing that really surprised me, because I just hate people in crowds. I never felt that way for a second at Comic-Con.
My co-host Hassan has actually made it his entire prerogative in life to not be around as many people as possible.
To be virtually invisible.
Yes. Yeah, he's not even on camera. Like, if you watch the Facebook feed,
being 6 foot tall is really
everyone's
difficult.
like, why is he not on camera? And I'm like, because he told me he does not want to be on camera. And that's just my mug the entire time.
Yeah.
It's,
I'm a disembodied voice.
It's not benefiting anybody, to be honest with you. All right. Shifting gears to Black Swan, I mean, that's a who's who cast list. Natalie Portman, Winona Ryder, Mila Kunis.
Amazing movie.
Darren Aronofsky directing. Like, what was that experience like?
Well, I mean, it was obviously a dream, having grown up dancing ballet, and then sort of not giving it up, but putting it to the side for my acting career, just out of necessity, and then having everything kind of come back full circle, and having to be back in class every day and train harder than I ever trained when I actually was dancing ballet. So just in that aspect alone, it was a dream come true. And then, of course, you add in all the people that were involved, Darren and Natalie and Mila Kunis and Barbara Hershey and, all these things, Winona Ryder, like all these iconic actors and actresses. And it was incredible. It was, 3 months in New York for me. And I would have liked to have been in the movie a little more at the end, like after it was all said and done, because of having been there for 3 months. There was a lot of changes that were made after the fact that sort of changed the structure of the story and the script, and it worked. They're pushing Natalie for the Oscar. Fox, they recut things and do different things, but besides that element of it, it was just such an incredible thing to be a part of, and has been an incredible door opener in my career, and was a great learning experience. And just watching Darren Aronofsky and how he makes films, and no matter what the budget is, and no matter how successful he gets, he still runs the set like an indie movie, and it's really militant and serious, and really very inspiring to watch that. And I've definitely used that and carried that into everything else I've worked on since.
Well, speaking of that, you got a new children's show in production. Talk to me about that. I'd love to know more about it.
It was called the John Kerwin Kids Show, and basically it's the Tonight Show for kids. And we kind of saw that there was a gap in that market. There was no real sort of late night style glamorous talk show for kids, yet there's all these Disney stars and Nickelodeon stars and young up and coming different movie stars, but they're not quite big enough to be on the Jimmy Fallons of the world. So we created a space for them and kids in the audience, and just it's a lot of fun. If you had asked me if I was going to be producing a kids show a few years ago, I would have never, let alone like the Tonight Show for kids. Like what?
Hey, if you asked me, I'd be hosting a radio show. I would have said you're crazy.
Really, really great experience, and a lot of fun people that I got to work with and get to continue to work with, and and we're taking it to higher and higher levels. So it's been a really good experience all around.
All right, so at this point we're gonna do a little something different. We're gonna call this fill in the blank. Okay, I'm going to spout out a sentence, and it's going to be blank, and you're going to fill it in with your thoughts. Your favorite episode of True Blood is?
Oh gosh,
put you on the spot.
Wait and See. That's what it's called. Wait and See.
What takes place in that one?
She's in it.
It's just the only name I could think of.
We love the honesty. We appreciate the honesty.
I mean, it's one that I'm in for sure. But I don't think I don't remember the names of the episodes so much.
That's okay.
Like I could tell you the numbers, but not really the names.
Okay, we'll let you off the hook on that one. The TV
thanks. Yeah.
The TV show you are currently binging is?
Oh, it's Sense8, the Wachowski.
Oh wow.
Series. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Talk to us about that show, because I know nothing about it.
I can't believe I didn't. I can't believe I just discovered it. I've been sick for like the last week. I got the flu, and because of that, thank God for that, because I would never have discovered the show. I don't sit around and watch shows that often. So basically, it's so complex and hard to explain. But
it's kind of convoluted.
There's 8 individuals, but there's also tons of individuals. I mean, basically, it's like the interconnectedness of all things, and it's in keeping with the prolific amazingness of the Wachowskis and what they're tapped into, with Matrix and every project that they work on. But it's really interesting talking about consciousness and our abilities and what we're really capable of. It's kind of the idea in that series is there's Homo sapiens and what they call Homo sensoriens, which is sort of, these humans, but they have the abilities to connect with each other and think each other's thoughts and do a lot more beyond that. And then,
over continents.
Over continents.
Yeah,
over continents, yeah.
It sounds like a Wachowski brother, Wachowski sibling production at this point.
Yeah.
That definitely sounds like something there.
But it's just incredible, and it gets you to this point where you binge watch 5 episodes of it, and then I was like delirious and Sudafed probably as well. But I would turn it off. I would turn it off, and then be trying to really do all these things myself in the middle of the night. So it's really inspiring, and I just think that they're brilliant, and they definitely are tapped into how reality is really set up.
Excellent.
Sure.
All right.
So I like them a lot.
The superpower you wish you had?
Teleportation.
Ooh,
there you go.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I always go flight.
Yeah.
I always go flight. I'm always like, I want to fly.
You teleport. You don't need to fly.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Right.
You'd never be late for work.
That's what you would do. If you had the power for teleportation, you'd just be like, I'm going to be on time for work all the time.
Yeah. And maybe a bank vault or two might be in there.
This is why you're the co-host of a middling podcast.
Yes.
Because you don't dream big enough.
Because I can't teleport. If I could teleport, you think I would be sitting here right now?
You'd be on time.
Yeah. Wherever I went, it would be all time.
The Wonder Woman movie coming out next month will be...
Next week.
Next week. Well, it's technically both. Next month and next
will be amazing. She was my first idol. Wonder Woman was.
Talk to us about Wonder Woman.
To see that.
Talk to us about Wonder Woman.
Well, I had a life-size cardboard cutout of her on my door, basically, my entire childhood. So she was, when I was a young girl, it was the Linda Carter series, obviously, on TV in the early 80s. And I don't know, she's part of my cells, I kind of feel like she really exists, I guess, because it was so programmed into my brain at such an early age. But yeah, Wonder Woman was my first female role model, I think.
Do you know what they actually said? They there's a course that teaches people on public speaking, and they coined the phrase, do the Wonder Woman pose before you go out and public speak, because it empowers. If you actually put your
hands on your hips.
Your hands on your hips, and stand up straight with your legs across and do the Wonder Woman pose. And that is like part of this course, and it's proven to make you feel calm and confident when you go out there in public speak.
Really, that works.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so that's going to be the big...
Can guys do it? Or
I don't see why not.
All right.
I mean...
Just as long as no one sees them pretending to be Wonder Woman.
So, in the research for the show, you were involved in the Moana movie. You were a voice in that. Have you ever been forced to watch that film with kids, and how many times have you seen it, and how... I went through this experience. We stopped the fill in the blank at this point. I just want to know your experience on Moana.
Oh, okay. I just was able to see not the entire movie. I have not watched it with children. I saw it on an airplane in 2 different chunks.
Okay.
And that's that. I thought it was it was a very strong Disney movie. It was a good film, and I grew up in Hawaii, obviously, so I relate to a lot of the Islander themes, especially the theme of wanting to get off of the island. so that was, go Moana. But it was good. I think they did a good job. I know that it takes them like 7 or 8 years to do these Disney movies that then become iconic. So they were working on it for a long time. The same guys that did The Little Mermaid and Aladdin and all of that, which I'm glad I didn't know when I was in there doing Silvers. Because The Little Mermaid was like my second female role model after Wonder Woman, so I probably would have auditioned for them, sung every Little Mermaid song to them. So I'm glad I didn't know that they were the creators of that.
Now they're planning a live-action Little Mermaid film, either a film or a TV show. What are your thoughts on that?
The movie, the Little Mermaid movie.
Yeah, they're going to be doing a live-action version of that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's in development. So you got to audition right now.
I didn't know.
Let's go. Get on there.
I don't think I'm really the right. I wouldn't cast myself as the Little Mermaid.
No.
I'd like to see her really true to the cartoon.
That would be. Yeah, we can see that.
Yeah.
All right.
That would be kind of awesome.
We're going to wind down with your most ideal director you'd like to work with. Your most ideal actor/actress you'd like to work with is
the Wachowskis, for sure, as far as
go.
directors and writers. And then actor, actress, probably in keeping with Wachowski, probably Keanu Reeves, just for that keeping that same feeling.
Keanu Reeves is supposed to be like the nicest guy on the planet, too. Like, he really is.
And he's from Hawaii, also. We have the Hawaii connection, and we have the Wachowski connection.
And he's one of these guys who can just keep reinventing himself.
Yeah, I know.
They wrote him off so many times, and then The Matrix, and now the John Wick thing. He just
keeps coming back. All right, final fill in the blank. The best radio show /podcast you've ever been on is
yours.
Yeah!
Well done.
That was very easy to do.
How'd you get that one?
Kristina, talk again about your children's show. Tell everyone where they can watch it, where they can stream it, and tell them how people can get in contact with you.
Yeah, so it's the John Kerwin Kids Show. It airs nationwide every Sunday. I believe we just switched to Sundays. We used to be on Saturdays. It's on DirecTV. I'm not sure. It depends on which area you're in as far as the channel, but just look up DirecTV, John Kerwin Kids Show. And I'm all over all the different platforms at Kristina Anapau, different versions of the @Kristina Anapau handle. Pretty easy to find.
Excellent. Thank you so much for appearing. We love having you. And anytime you got something you've got going on, you want to get it out there,
let us know.
Let us know.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me.
All right. Thank you so much. That was Kristina Anapau and from True Blood. And chime in, obviously, if anybody's got any questions. She's gone, but we'll answer them. So when we come back, we're going to dive. We're going to do what our best segment in the world. We're going to go spinning the racks when we come back.
You're listening to the Talking Alternative Network.
Are you into comics, movies, and pop culture at large? What about music and TV? Then you're in for a treat. This is Michael Dolce, your host on TalkingAlternative.com. I've been professionally writing comic books, screenplays, and music articles for almost 15 years. Catch my show, Secrets of the Sire, at its new primetime slot, Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and get the inside scoop on the pop culture universe you love to talk about. For more info, go to secretsofthesire.com.
Hello, this is Mark Torres.
And Pronto Comic Zone Dominic Sperano.
And listen to our show, It Came From the Radio, right here on talkradio.nyc, every Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we talk about entertainment, movies,
comic books, and other news.
So make sure you check us out. That's right here, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Wednesday, talkradio.nyc.
TalkingAlternative.com.
Give me a vote, Bobby. What do you think? Steel or Nick Fury?
I'm going. I loved Steel growing up,
right.
and I haven't seen it in almost like 15 years. But things were limited in the 90s. We didn't have many superhero movies to turn to.
James Quarandango said this is like asking which eye you want poked out.
Secrets of the Sire.
Welcome back to Secrets of the Sire. I want to thank our guest, Kristina Anapau from True Blood.
Didn't get her name wrong once.
Yeah,
well
I know. I was
well done.
Also, did not get to ask her the one question: what is the best Ben Affleck movie of all time? The best Ben Affleck movie of all time is
Phantoms. Affleck was the bomb in Phantoms. My attitude about that is that it was The Town. I think that was his best movie.
The Town's the best movie?
But I think
no Daredevil?
It
do we have any
pales in
Daredevil?
comparison to Phantoms.
Do we have any Daredevil takers out there?
No.
Any Gigli takers out there? Any
or Jersey Girl, which is the same movie.
Games? Oh, is it?
Yeah, Jersey Girl and Gigli were the same.
Joe Mulvey says The Town, definitely.
Yes!
The funny thing is, I remember Kevin Smith was actually complaining. Christina Gillen says Dogma, which is also what Sam Leibowitz suggested as well.
Yeah,
too.
She's wrong, though.
She's our beloved patron who is in our green room.
She's
earlier.
our boss. I can say she's wrong. Just fire me.
That's true. Well, you'll never have to be on time ever again for this.
Yes, teleport.
I'm lost.
Yeah,
no,
gotcha.
It's all over.
Got it. Win.
It's all over.
Win. Got him.
This is what happens when we have like important people on our show.
Yes, and you get flummoxy.
I do get flummoxy.
Yes.
I just absolutely.
It's kind of sad to watch, man.
It is pathetic to watch.
You just kind of melt in the chair.
I can picture myself as you watching me be very awful.
Yeah, and I mean, sitting here, it's gratifying. I just
and
gotta
isn't
tell
it amazing that we strive to be important? Well, I strive to be important.
Yeah, I don't strive to be. I was born important.
And that's why you succeed.
Yes.
At not being important.
Yes. At not being and not trying to be important while being important, not important at all. Yes.
Phantom? Really?
Yes.
Phantom? All right.
He was the bomb in Phantoms.
He was.
I don't know where we're going with that.
Superpower you would. What's the superpower you would want?
I would want teleportation
also.
Either teleportation or this one will shock you.
Yeah.
Invisibility. But I would do terrible things with it. Terrible things with my invisibility.
Like
it would be bad immediately. Like I always said, if I was Superman, if I like a Spider-Man situation, and I suddenly got irradiated, like when we're riding the 2 train home, and I got irradiated and whatever, and became a superhero, because that's how it happens.
Sure.
There would be a government agency dedicated to killing me about 6 days after it happened. 6 days. That's how long it would take for it to go. I mean, there wouldn't even be a crime-fighting phase. It really wouldn't. It would go straight to supervillain.
Okay.
It would go to my head instantly.
So if you had superpowers and could do whatever you want,
great power, great responsibility.
Straight to villain.
The heck with that. Throw that out.
You
Screw
just
that.
like be pushing people over.
Oh, it would be terrible.
Just left and right.
It would be terrible.
Yeah.
It would literally be terrible.
Okay.
And if I could teleport and be invisible, come on.
Now Brian Abraham said healing factor, and that's a good answer because then you live longer,
right? But
how long do you really want to live?
Yeah, not that long. But if you get really good with teleporting, you don't need a healing factor because you would never be there for the damage.
Oh, that's not true. I mean, in order to actually use your teleporting powers, I mean, I'm sure there's some sort of motion or thought, or it's not like blinking. It's not involuntary.
You got to get good at it.
If it was involuntary, then you'd just be teleporting.
Yeah, that would suck. Right? That would be the Marvel version of it. Where
you'd end up in like a mountain or a plane, or
that would suck. But I mean, if you got really good at it, right, and you just you popped in, you punch someone, he swings at you, you pop out. You know, you're behind him all of a sudden, you punch him again, you're in front of him, you don't take any damage. You got to get good at it.
Why are you punching these people?
Because I'm a supervillain.
Oh, so you're punching like cops and
anybody.
Okay.
I just punch people randomly.
Just randomly.
Yeah, because I'm a supervillain.
There's a game out there like that.
Yes, Grand
Theft
Auto.
No. I don't mean like a video game, like an
the knockout game.
Yes, the knockout game.
I'd be amazing at the knockout game if I could teleport.
So you just have evil machinations.
It would be bad.
Which is why you choose to do nothing.
Yes.
So you're actually being like a superhero right now.
Right, by saving the world from myself.
By refraining from doing anything
by not
harmful.
Getting superpowers, I have saved the world.
All right. Do you know what else you've done?
I've burned a lot of time. Successfully.
No. You also are you were at the genesis of our greatest ringtone ever. Mm-hmm. It's that time of the night.
Kristina wants to know when everybody's going to get a copy of that.
We got interns coming next week. We have a whole campaign revolved around.
My fate is sealed.
That ringtone.
All right.
We go spinning the racks.
Spin the rack. Spin the rack.
We shouldn't laugh at our own jokes like that.
It's what the best part of that is though. It's when you go spin that rack, like that is.
See, nobody knew it was me until now.
Well,
until you just said it was me.
No, everyone knew. We've been saying it
in my mind, for my own peace of mind. Nobody knew.
We actually, our guest last week, Pat Shand, who was in studio, which by the way, his Kickstarter got funded.
Yes,
thanks to us.
He
clearly.
did. Excellent for him.
Best
it was his
podcast
birthday.
Ever.
Isn't it his birthday today?
30 years old.
Today.
Happy birthday, Pat Shand.
Pat.
It's an old man.
I meant to mention that too.
He was literally moved when he heard that. Like he looked at you and looked around and was like, "That is the greatest thing I've ever heard." All right. Well, anyway, what is Spinning the Racks? This is when we bring you the most fantastical pop culture news out there on the web. Not fantastical. We didn't get to do this last week because we had so much show last week that we just ran out. Powers Booth passed away. Yeah. He is the actor best known for, Deadwood. He was in Sin City. He was most recently in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. That's where I remember him most recently. Not to say I don't remember him in other things. He lent his burly frame and Texas drawl to numerous TV series.
Yeah.
He died in his sleep.
He was amazing.
Which is too bad. Hackers want to make Disney cry with the WannaCry. There are actually some hackers that stole...
Pirates of the Caribbean.
And were holding it hostage, but they actually found out it was a movie theater owner.
Really?
Yeah.
And they arrested him?
They arrested him and two other people in connection to this.
Yes. All right. You got to give it to him for the balls for the scam, though.
That's pretty impressive, right?
Because you would have it, and someone like you would be like, "Oh, I know how we can make a lot of money like this."
Yeah.
Just blackmailing them. I'd be like, "No, we got to give it back. We got to do what's right."
No. You would be the blackmailer. Because you would be doing evil things.
Why has it got to be racial, man?
Well, because
we're trying to do a show here, man. That's not right.
Yeah.
That is not right.
I don't see things in color.
Yeah. So you're colorblind?
I am colorblind.
Yeah. So why are you wearing a Captain America shirt? That explains that banner.
Yes. The only racist person here, Hassan, is you.
Yes.
You just revealed your
I'm
own
a racially racist person.
Racist?
Yeah, I don't know. Get past this.
In the We Got
sucks.
It Right category... NBC's Powerless officially canceled. This is kind of old news, I got to be honest with you.
That sucks to be right about that.
NBC has canceled DC Entertainment's Powerless following one season. According to Deadline, in April, the network pulled the show from its schedule with 3 episodes.
They were powerless to save themselves.
I'm
sorry.
It is unknown if if the final episodes will eventually be released. If a show does not make a sound, was it ever really there?
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
It was all part of your imagination. It will be. When they release it on DVD, that's where...
Wouldn't that be the ultimate irony that if, it goes out there and becomes like the next Family Guy, where, 2 years later, they're like, we're renewing Powerless, yay!
It would be fantastic for
amazing.
it.
And everyone's like, wait, what was Powerless?
Yeah.
I didn't even know it existed.
Or like Heroes. Didn't they bring Heroes back? And it was a whole generation of kids.
It was pretty bad.
Yeah, it was bad the first time.
I'll be honest with you, the X-Files, they brought back X-Files a couple years ago, and they renewed it. They've actually renewed X-Files.
But they're just taking their time bringing it back for a 10th season or something like that.
Episodes
11th.
were okay as well, too.
I watched 1 or 2 of them. I didn't watch them all, and it wasn't really because I didn't want to. It was just, I was never a huge X-Files fan. I didn't dislike. I've seen the movies. I've followed it, but,
So, Brian Everham chimed in on the Facebook feed. Again, go to facebook.com/Secrets of the Sire.
Or not.
Any of our podcast listeners and they want to actually catch us live, do it there.
Check us
go
out.
to talkradio.nyc.
We're great guys.
We're on iTunes. We're on iHeartRadio. We're
everywhere.
We're really everywhere.
Yeah.
I actually just got emailed from somebody saying we're on some sort of podcasting app.
You got an email that said we're on too many platforms.
No,
right?
yes, well,
they threaten you. Stop it. Stop whatever you're doing now.
So he chimed in and said teleportation doesn't keep you from getting diseases or illness, so you could gain your powers, and a year later you could have an untreatable disease.
Great, but if you could teleport to whatever country has a cure for that disease
real
real
quick.
quick.
Don't have a cure, then you just die.
You would find it. There's always a cure.
In the movies.
You teleport to the bunker. Wherever the president is, he's got all the cures.
We talked top vampire stories ever to see the big screen or the small screen. We never really came up with a definitive answer.
I have an answer, but...
I think Bram Stoker's Dracula fantastic too. I like your original answer.
Yes, that is. Well, if you're saying
What did you
it's
think of that
story, I think that movie's fantastic.
I think
that's one of the few movies at the time when it came out. I saw it like 5 or 6 times.
Still love that
One of
movie.
my favorites.
There's boobies in that too. 14-year-old self really enjoyed it.
Well, that's if that's your thing,
you can't go wrong with that.
That's pretty much everyone's
Let me ask you a question: Buffy or Angel?
For what?
Which one's better?
Neither.
No, see, Angel was very good.
I'm not a fan of.
Well, you're just anti-Joss Whedon, who we also talked about as well.
Yes, we did. Actually, Buffy Angel is better than Buffy. If we have to, Angel is better than Buffy.
Well, because
except for season 4, which is atrocious.
No, season 4 of Angel is amazing.
So, yeah, even Joss Whedon
amazing.
says season 4 is atrocious. He apologized about season 4.
He apologized for season 6 of Buffy, and that rightfully so as well.
And he apologized for season 4 of Angel.
All right. Well, coming up next week, it's Ladies' Night. Actress Jordan Elizabeth Gelber of Star Baby Enterprises and women's business coach Sarah Walton are going to be on the show next week because we're going to be talking pretty much the biggest...
About women's.
Yeah, we're going to be talking the biggest thing on the planet. We're actually have 2 female interns as well, too.
Yes.
Sorry, honey. We're going to be talking about DC's Wonder Woman with positive reviews hitting the net. Will this be DC's first and most important victory?
Night. It has to be because they're
Don't
it has to be. They're due.
Don't give away the cow.
That's just my opinion.
No, but save it for next
Lord
week.
Radio gets to have an opinion.
Save it for next week.
I could be proved wrong.
Tune in next week. Secrets of the Sire.
Stay tuned for It Came From the Radio.
You're listening to the Talking Alternative Network.
Who do you want to connect with?
Are you an entrepreneur or intrapreneur looking to build your following?
Welcome to our show.
Follow Me Friday with Joan
and Priya.
Tune in every Friday at noon Eastern
on talkradio.nyc.
We're your digital connectors. Woo woo! What's that?
Hey, all you crazy listeners. Looking to boost your business? Why not advertise on Talking Alternative with very reasonable rates? Interested? Simply email at info@talkingalternative.com.
Are you into comics, movies, and pop culture at large? What about music and TV? Then you're in for a treat. This is Michael Dolce, your host on talkingalternative.com. I've been professionally writing comic books, screenplays, and music articles for almost 15 years. Catch my show, Secrets of the Sire, at its new primetime slot, Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and get the inside scoop on the pop culture universe you love to talk about. For more info, go to secretsofthesire.com.
You're listening to the Talking Alternative Network at www.talkingalternative.com. Now, broadcasting 24 hours a day. Talking Alternative.
Hi, this is Rob Kay.
And I'm Callie Alpert.
And we're hosts of The Rob and Callie Show. Are you looking for a show that talks about real stuff like life, love, the pursuit of being yourself?
Then you have come to the right place because we cover topics ranging from chivalry to gratitude to your relationship with money and everything in between.
So listen to us on The Rob and Callie Show, Tuesdays, 8 to 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on talkradio.nyc.
Are you a conscious co-creator?
Are you on a quest to raise your vibration and your consciousness? I'm Sam Leibowitz, your conscious consultant, and on my show, The Conscious Consultant Hour, Awakening Humanity, we will touch upon all these topics and more. Listen live at our new time on Thursdays at 12 noon Eastern Time. That's The Conscious Consultant Hour, Awakening Humanity, Thursdays 12 noon on talkradio.nyc.
You're listening to the Talking Alternative Network.